Welcome back, back to another episode of the Lightpole Podcast. I'm your host this evening, this morning, this afternoon, whenever you're watching or listening. I am Wiley. We're joined, of course, by our co-hosts Kyler, Darian, and Joey, as usual. We are getting back to our roots for this episode, going back to some hardcore movie stuff. But before we get into that, let's start out with our usual movie news, entertainment news, whatever we got. So I guess, Darian, you want to take that away?
Yeah, also we are sponsored by nuts.com this week. Just go to nuts.com, type in code Lightpole for a solid 4% off. That'll cut about 3/4 of the shipping out. Best nuts I've ever. They are the pecans, dude. Anyway, first piece of movie news is
pecan or pecan?
I say pecan, but I won't criticize someone for saying pecan. I
don't know
what's right.
I say both. It depends what mood I'm in, honestly.
It's like data and data. I'm not going to criticize someone. I say them both.
Okay.
Russell Crowe has been added to the Thor cast.
Yeah. A while ago, we kept forgetting to mention that.
Yeah, we just haven't mentioned it.
Yeah. That's a stacked cast.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. Russell Crowe, I feel like my only worry with this Thor film, and I am so excited for it, is I hope it doesn't get too off the rails, wacky, comedy, crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Too clustered with a bunch of stuff. That's gonna be like, what did we
Ragnarok had some pretty, and I don't want to say over the top, but
it was more comedic.
It was a little oversaturated in some spots.
I agree. That was my limit of
anymore, and it was all right, too much.
Exactly, and that's my worry for this movie because Taika's back, and now we have this insane cast of people.
Yeah, I know exactly what you guys are saying, but
I feel like Guardians and Ant-Man, I expect that. I don't really want that out of a more central Avengers character like Thor.
That's kind of where this is going though, because Guardians is with the exactly. Yeah. Guardians is with him, so I don't know.
But even Guardians, I feel like wasn't as wild as Ragnarok was. Guardians 2 had me in tears when they were throwing the ball back and forth, and then I realized they were playing catch.
Yeah.
I just loved it when every time Drax was insulting Mantis, he was like,
yeah, it was like something so ugly in my life. Yeah.
It's so
right.
mean.
The Guardians ones are genuinely funny. The Ragnarok had some the Jeff Goldblum stuff. It was kind of
that was a little weird, but it's Taika. Taika's a little out there. He's crazy.
Yeah. Anything with Korg, I freaking love.
Chris Hemsworth.
He's awesome.
Chris Hemsworth said for this movie, he's in the best shape he's ever been in his life.
He is bigger.
Chris Hemsworth has always been in peak physical condition.
But
even
more. He's even more ripped.
His arms are bigger than my head.
Yeah,
he's
crazy.
Literally
jacked for this movie, dude.
Which is so ironic because you go from Thor in Endgame, which is the fat Thor, and then now the best shaped Thor ever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If we don't get a training montage of him going from fat to skinny,
I was gonna say
I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah.
I want to see what that's gonna look like. Like if they're just gonna show up and he's just gonna be huge and he's like, oh yeah, I wanted to die or
whatever.
something like that.
Yeah.
Try to compete with Quill.
All right. New news, a little bit smaller, but WB is making some changes to a few of the movies. So you remember a few months ago we talked about the fact that WB and Warner Brothers, they were sending most of their big movies straight to HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of theaters. Well, it seems like a lot of the directors, which we discussed, Denis Villeneuve was one of them. He's doing Dune. They're complaining, their op-eds and all this stuff got the companies to listen, and WB is sending Dune straight to theaters only, which is amazing because we're going to get to that. It's my most anticipated movie. I'm so excited for that.
Spoiler. Yeah.
Sorry. Which leads me
over Darren when we get there then.
to the Netflix and Sony deal. Have you guys heard about this? Did we send this in the chat?
We did.
I think we were talking about it. Yeah.
I'm excited for it, but
dude, hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know if the exact amount has been specified for this deal, but it's Netflix getting an unspecified number of Sony's vault of movies, and they also get first streaming rights of all new movies for 2 years
after theatrical release.
Dang.
Oh, it's the Vault movies too?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know how many, but they get a lot.
I didn't know that.
So like Spider-Man,
and
all of them.
I know Disney must be pissed that they couldn't at least get like the MCU Spider-Man in there, because that's like the one thing missing from Disney for me. But at least now
and Far From Home.
At least now I have somewhere to watch it, because before you can only watch it through like Stars.
Yeah.
No, it's Sony.
None of the Spider-Man movies are on Disney?
Stars was the only place you could watch it, or if it came out on TV. So that's it.
Or you rent it
or buy it,
Amazon.
Stars is the company that owns most of Sony's licensing rights right now. So all the companies, probably Netflix, Disney Plus, all these companies were probably doing some type of bidding
war,
to get that, and Netflix came out with it.
They needed something, because honestly, Netflix is kind of lacking with a lot of their stuff recently, with all these other stuff coming out.
They were saying that thing. There was like, oh yeah, there's gonna be at least one new thing every single week.
But they're all trash.
But it's all garbage.
Yeah,
nobody wants to watch that.
Fun fact for you: 67%. I think this was IGN that was talking about it. 67% of the people they polled said Netflix has the best original content. And as much trash as they have, I don't know, man. I think they do. Who has better original content than
original? Yeah.
They're putting out
no one else is really doing that original.
You throw enough.
True, they are putting out the most.
And it's just
one of them will stick.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, when you think,
fair enough.
I think a lot of it is a bunch of teenagers and young people too, with like those rom-coms and
how
like,
much stuff is like Hulu putting out?
Yeah,
original stuff.
They don't really
Hulu's
have
trash. Don't get me started. Any
Amazon Prime is probably the only other thing that puts out a fair amount
but nothing
of
crazy.
content, but it's nothing. You have like Jack Ryan, which is like probably the only standout.
I didn't even like it.
The only.
Nah, it was okay.
Though I guess Apple would be they have a few stuff there, but they don't have enough to really compete with Netflix.
I think HBO, but does HBO count? Because all their stuff, it is original, but it's all like, we're talking Sopranos, The Wire, that's like 90s, 2000s.
Yeah, I don't
that's
know
original content, but
that's like
they just became a streaming service though.
Exactly.
It's not, no, I wouldn't count them. I think the big three would be, well, does Disney count too? Would that be
I think
Disney.
So
Netflix, Disney has a bunch of
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and Disney.
Hold up, now you're saying Disney got all this original stuff.
For real,
But is it?
But it's
newer.
The
same
Disney
HBO
Plus original stuff.
Yeah,
that's the streaming service, not just Disney.
Not just Disney. No,
it's the same conversation as HBO.
Disney
like,
Plus,
has HBO put anything out for HBO Max?
Yeah.
Or is it all their original content from the past 20 years?
Disney Plus has Mandalorian, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. So now they're coming out with bigger stuff, but other than that, it's like Mulan.
Yeah. Disney. You're right. Disney could definitely get up there.
Yeah.
Netflix has
within the next year with
10-year
like
jump start
with the stuff that they have in the works right now.
I don't doubt that they will.
Yeah.
Especially with their animated stuff.
With the massive amount of original stuff that Netflix is putting out, and the few like actual good quality stuff that Disney's putting out, and Disney's still probably gonna come out on top. That's pretty sad.
That is very true. Well, Disney said they were focusing on quality over quantity, which is the exact opposite of Netflix.
Which I'm totally fine. As long as we have enough to hold us over between projects, which they absolutely have with all the movies that they have. Netflix, I'll browse through Netflix for like a half hour. I'm like, I still haven't found a single thing that I want.
Oversaturation.
Yeah.
That's it. It's too much. And then Netflix I'm going to be honest with you. Netflix ruins a lot of shows because they feel like for some reason, now that they have this show that was on TV and now that it's on Netflix, since they don't have any of the restrictions, they're going to fly by all of those restrictions and go straight crazy, swearing, all this crazy stuff. And it's like, have you guys seen Designated Survivor?
That's the one with
my dad watched it for a while, but I don't think
Kiefer Sutherland.
No, the concept of it is amazing. It's basically, when the president has his State of the Union, every member of Congress, except for 2 members who are hidden in secret locations, every other member of Congress goes to that State of the Union. And in this show, some terrorists blow up the thing, so the entire government is gone. And he's just some like housing secretary guy, congresswoman, low level, and he becomes the president of the United States. Super cool concept. First 2 seasons were really solid, and then Netflix bought it at the third
Where
season.
was it? What like channel was it on? Who had it?
I don't remember. ABC, I think.
ABC, I think.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
The dude from the White Castle movie was in there.
White Castle, as in
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, whatever.
Oh yes.
The Indian
yes, he was.
Dude, he's in the show too.
Oh, he's like a serious actor now.
He did really good.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he gave up like comedy altogether.
I think the last comedic thing I saw him in was New Girl.
So
a few episodes, but
yeah. But anyway, Netflix buys it and does all this crazy stuff, and they just start cussing off the rip, and it's like, a swear is okay if it feels, it's not like overused, or if it's like,
yeah, they get too obsessed with it, and
like for example, Marvel movies, like even Falcon and Winter Soldier, they'll drop an S word or something like that, but it's not like,
I don't think any MCU Marvel movie has said the F word.
It's not needed.
No, they've never dropped an F-bomb.
Never.
It feels so weird when
Which is
Fast and
fine.
Furious does it. It just feels so out of place.
It's like forced, like, hey, we can, so we might as well.
Yeah, I hate that. If you're watching like Goodfellas, it's coming and it makes sense. These guys are like, mobsters. But if I'm watching Dom Toretto swinging from a vine, him dropping F-bomb, not what I need.
Is Fast 10 going to take place in the rainforest?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they go to space. They go to space in
what?
this one. No, they go to space in this one. It was
I'm
a
not even
meme.
surprised.
It was a
I'm
meme,
not
and they
even
literally
surprised.
did it on purpose.
Bro, we're going to dedicate 2
we'll get
minutes
to that.
after movie news to discuss the Fast 9 trailer.
Yeah.
Sticking on Netflix, this is one that I'm pretty sure we all saw in the chat. Daniel Craig and Ryan Johnson will each get $100 million because Netflix bought the script rights for Knives Out 2 and 3.
Is it 50 and 50 for 2 and 3? Or is it 100?
It's 100 for
each?
both.
It's 100.
For both, okay.
They bought them for $469 million.
That's
That's insane.
That's
That's a lot of faith.
Ryan Johnson getting 100 mil, Daniel Craig getting 100 mil, and Ryan Johnson's producer, his partner that he works with on his movies, is getting 100 mil, which leaves 169 for the 2 movies. The first one was only 40 million, so this is a bump of it's double the budget.
You don't need that much because it was just a bunch of actors in a house.
Exactly.
So if you want to go like
sets.
on location or something, then some money can go to that. But other than that's
it all depends on
the
the
actors,
storyline and the actors that they cast and stuff like that. Because
Because
it's
big
gonna
name actors, you need to
it's not like a continuation of the first Knives Out. It's just it's 2 separate new storylines. So
Yeah, which I like. I mean, I love Knives
Yeah.
Out. It was a super fun, refreshing movie, one of those cool ones. And I'm excited that they're doing 2 and 3. That is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, though. $500 million
That's crazy.
for a $40 million movie? What? Netflix is just tossing. Where is this money coming from? They've claimed losses on their taxes every year for 9 years in a row. Where's the money coming? It's crazy.
only Darian would know that.
I know.
Okay.
I have a good one for you guys.
Sure.
It is.
Let's go to Disney Plus here. There's an exclusive break. Wolverine anthology series is in early development at Disney Plus.
Oh my gosh. Maybe it is Wolverine tomorrow.
Who would you cast?
Okay, Darren, don't let's not go there yet.
It could be.
Yeah, we'll get there in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We'll get there.
It could be, but who would you guys cast?
Tom Hardy?
I would prefer Tom Hardy of anyone. I heard Taron
Egerton.
Edgerton.
He would look good.
I'm not.
Kingsman?
Yeah, I don't really
They-
know.
they-
if I'm okay with that.
They photoshopped him with the beard and all that. He didn't look.
Yeah,
too
but
bad.
that's some fan photoshopping. He's not gonna look like whatever they choose in the show. I don't know.
He's a bulky guy. He's a pretty fit dude, but I don't see him being Wolverine.
I mean, I have full faith in Disney. I know Disney's not gonna make a mistake because they just haven't. They put too much work and effort
Until
into
they
it.
will.
Yeah.
Until they do.
WandaVision was probably the biggest.
MCU rarely misses, and even when they do miss, it's not that bad.
It's not a
miss.
flop. It's not like a DC flop.
You think of their catalog of 30 movies and all these shows and stuff, and then when you think
only
of a
two
bad
things
one,
are Captain
Thor.
Marvel and
Thor 2.
Well, Captain Marvel, Thor 2, and WandaVision are the only 3 things that I'm like, nah.
Well, I wouldn't put WandaVision in that category because the first half of the season.
The first half when they were doing like the cool weird stuff was great.
Yeah.
And then it went to like, I don't know, it was just like typical Marvel, but they just like really dragged their feet with it. And it was just like that. I wish you would just stuck with like the whole we're branching out type thing.
I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't put that in bottom tier Marvel. That'd go in like medium tier with like Ant-Man. Stuff that I enjoyed, but probably won't watch again.
You did bring up an excellent point, though. Imagine that's what we see tomorrow. I hope so. I have my theory on it, and we'll get to it. I have my theory on how it would be possible. But
interesting. Anthology series. What does that mean? Like he's battling a new villain every episode? Oh,
like origin and
live action?
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Oh my goodness! I just got goosebumps. I'm so excited, dude.
I mean,
that's ambitious.
Don't quote me on it. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but it seems like it's a pretty reliable source from. But
we are in the golden age of comic book movies and shows. This is crazy.
I mean, there are a lot of people who hate it. They're like, it's too much. But if you actually appreciate comic books and the fact that we're able to see this stuff realized in live action on big screens with huge actors, it's pretty nice.
Here's the thing. This is like stuff we've been wanting since we were children. So now that we're getting it, it's like, it's not enough.
I'm not complaining.
Give me more. You know, like
who was the director that like slandered comic book movies and said they were
Scorsese.
It was Scorsese.
He said Marvel isn't cinema. It's theme parks.
Okay. If Scorsese said that to me, can't really say much back. Dude's a legend.
Scorsese,
Dude's a legend. Yeah, he's arguably the best of all time.
He's still wrong. I don't care.
But he's wrong.
Yeah.
He's wrong. I'm sorry. No one was, jam-packing theaters with their kids and their best friends to go see Wolf of Wall Street or Goodfellas. This is the next level movie.
Great movies, but not on the level of MCU in terms of the entertainment factor and the
apples to
the
oranges.
Amount of hype for it. Exactly. So
that's just out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah.
These are movies that are going to be winning Oscars or anything like that, but they rake in billions and billions and billions of dollars, not just from the movies, but from after the fact. You get the video games and the action figures and stuff like that. You're not going to get that kind of money from spiritually moving movie like something.
But I think that's his point where he says it's theme parks because it's a lot of merchandise and but
it's
at the same time it's still a good
entertaining
film.
Yeah,
when you break it down to its core, I mean, it's
Endgame.
He's just like a grumpy old guy. You're not gonna fight with him. You're just gonna be like, okay, you're wrong, but
Anyway, moving on. Yeah,
go take a nap.
Yeah.
Another rumor is that Sony, grain of salt here, wants Sam Raimi to come back with Tobey Maguire for a direct Spider-Man 4 sequel. What are your thoughts?
Whoa.
That would be
Joey, what do you think?
But what would the plot be?
Yeah, what would be the premise on he's established as Spider-Man?
How did Spider-Man 3 end with him? He was still swinging around at the end of it?
Yeah, and undercover. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew his identity and stuff. Still,
nobody found out. I know Harry died.
Well, Harry died.
Spoilers.
Where Darian cried. In
the movie came out like 13 years ago.
For the 40 out, yeah.
I'd be okay with it. I would want like a. Well, obviously he would be older because Tobey Maguire's. It's been how long since Spider-Man 3?
Oh, what was Spider-Man
like over 10 years.
Been like
yeah.
Like what, 12, 13 years?
06, 07 maybe?
Okay.
Spider-Man 3.
So I would want him to be like a more disgruntled Spider-Man if that's a thing. I'd like
maybe
that.
like the way
Miles,
Ben Affleck's Batman.
Introduce Miles so that way he could like pass the mantle. I mean, he's not getting younger.
Well, I don't think they would.
I think Miles
be
is
able to
MCU.
do that because Miles is MCU. Yeah, I'm sure they would have like restrictions with that.
Technically, Miles exists in the MCU because of Aaron Davis, and then he said my nephew, and then in the deleted scene he was like Miles. I'm not gonna be. So technically, Miles Morales exists in the MCU.
I'm sure they would have like restrictions, like since they have the deal with Disney, it's like, okay, yeah, do your movie because you still own the character, but you can't use these storylines because we're already workshopping that.
You ever heard Sam Raimi's explanation for Spider-Man for not doing Spider-Man 4?
No,
3
critical.
sucked?
Yeah, critical and audience reception. For that one was
No. Well, he said he wanted a movie that everyone was gonna enjoy and to continue like a great storyline and this and that, but he knew that he wouldn't be able to produce that. Like he just knew, like I guess with the reception from Spider-Man 3 and like the way it was going and all that, he just knew he wasn't gonna be able to create the film that everyone wanted. So he was like, "I'd just rather not do it."
You know what? I wish more people did that.
For real,
I wish more people
realizing
instead of milking it and trying to get as much money and putting up garbage, just stop. Yeah, Fast and Furious, exactly.
Yeah.
Just stop. Because you'll get more respect from that instead of people like groaning when they see Spider-Man 18 pop out, and you're like, oh, God.
And then the nostalgia factor
already.
comes back 10 years down the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why do you think they went in the direction of Creed? Because if they did a Rocky 14, there would be no hype, no nostalgia factor, because we've seen so much crap with Stallone walking around. He's like 103. He's like,
can you imagine fighting again?
Yeah, he's got like a turtle shell belly. He's like steroided up. He's still like roaming the streets of Philly screaming, Adrian. I've seen it all, dude.
You got a stroke.
Oh God!
No, you look like you had a stroke.
I was like, I feel bad. I was like, yo, I'm making fun of someone. I was like, guys, cut it.
Making fun of a handicap film, you gotta cut
That would have been our first cut.
Oh jeez.
All right, so
By the way, Dogecoin to the moon. Let's go, baby.
Dogecoin is going nowhere. Question.
It's
Just hold on.
There's a wire.
It's almost at
There's a wire
25
that
cents,
shorted
sir.
out.
That was the camera. Okay.
it was the camera. That's where your audio comes in through the camera.
If you jump out of a plane,
Yep.
Yes.
and I feel like I know the answer, but I was just driving the other day. And I was
Answers
wondering,
no. Answers no.
and you get near, like the plane is crashing, and you jump out, and you get near the bottom, and the whole way down, you're standing on a plane door, and right before you reach the ground, you jump up. Does that neutralize?
No.
Does it neutralize?
You're so falling way too
I
fast.
know,
You'd
yeah.
absolutely go splat. 100%.
Okay.
Like we'd be falling in a plane in our seats, and Darren would be the only one standing. And last thing he's like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this."
Now that works.
Yeah, I was driving, and I was just wondering. I was like,
Is that what you think about when you drive?
sometimes there's some things that just make me think of that. I don't know.
Darren's like,
Alright.
"I'm definitely gonna survive."
Yeah, he's
Anyway,
like, "Oh, I got this
someone-
figured out. I could survive any plane crash. Y'all
There
dead.
was
I'm
a-
built different."
There was a stewardess that survived the fall from like I think it was over 5,000 feet in the plane, like without any kind of protection or anything like that. I
What?
forgot. I was listening to it on a podcast.
She jumped at the end.
months. No, she didn't.
Wait, hold
She
up.
was like in the middle of the fuselage. It was in like 1970 or something like that. Wiley.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a soundboard here on the podcast. So we've added a few different random clips. So you'll hear random sound clips coming out throughout the episodes.
80%
And as they
of them
go
are
on-
Vin Diesel.
We have a lot of Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Do we really?
Yeah.
Literally 80% of it is
Yeah.
Save them
Do you-
save them for the right moment.
Yeah.
Save it for the right
Do you
moment.
have
You're right, Joey.
familia? I mean, anyway.
No. So as it goes on, we'll add more.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to let you know.
I was gonna say, like, being realistic, why would you even think of that, Darian? Wouldn't you want to jump towards the ground just to kill yourself faster?
Oh,
Or-
head first. Head first.
Dude,
I want it lights out.
The door.
Yeah,
We
I
look
want it
out the
lights
window, and Darren would be skydiving past the plane.
I always
I'll
think
beat you
about
there.
that.
There's turbulence, and then you see Darian jump out, and we're like, "Wait, hold up,
We got
We're good.
from the emergency door.
Jump out the inflatable slide, plays like 10,000 feet up. Like, yo, open it. I was, I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh, anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Wiley, you got another piece of news?
On that note, let's continue with entertainment news.
Top Gun and Mission Impossible were both pushed back again.
Push back?
Yeah.
How
Why?
Tom Cruise is probably
Mission Impossible's 2022. I forget what date, and Top Gun's like November now.
2022
this year?
hmm
Okay.
Wait. Top Gun's first, Mission Impossible second?
Yep.
What?
Top Gun's been in development. They've been filming that thing and like
Top Gun
editing
was
for like
supposed to
3
come
years.
out- Let me see.
I think it was supposed to come out to be like the end of last year.
I confess I still haven't seen the first one. I have it.
You're
and-
lying.
No, I have it and I want to watch it. I just haven't gotten to it.
Oh my god! I watched it because I went to school one time with aviators and my
Of course.
winter jacket.
Sounds about right.
And my shop teacher started calling me Maverick, and I was like, "Who the heck is that?"
You
And
go
he
to
was like, "You never
sleep.
seen Top Gun?" So then I watched it, and I was like, "Well, that's not an insult.
That's
Maverick
pretty
was
cool.
Awesome, yeah, I'll take that."
That was the movie where he came sliding out in the boxers and it was like, what that old record? That was the movie? You don't remember where Tom Cruise came sliding out? I was like, put that old record
That's not-
on the
that's
shelf.
Risky business.
That's risky business.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da.
Yeah, see? Okay. Wasn't a dumb question.
Wait, was-
I missed the question. What happened?
What?
No, he was just saying it was Top Gun. That's the movie where he did that. I'm like,
Oh
no.
no,
Yeah,
Tom Cruise
so
was
it
like
was-
12 in that movie.
So it was a dumb question. Yeah.
Okay. So I could erase that.
Yeah,
I
he
wrote
did
that down.
and then jumped into a fighter jet. It's
Yeah. Yeah, like what? Oh,
Anyway.
Marvel has released not a statement, but that they have plans to make sure that Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson never have to do anything together in the MCU. Because they used to be
What?
married. They got divorced. They were married.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't know that? I knew that like a long time ago. I didn't think. Did it end badly? Is that why they're not?
I guess
So
they're
they
still
hate
not.
each
On, I guess they're not on good terms still. So,
Huh.
Wow. So they have to work around that.
but I mean, I guess it would kind of be easy
mean,
because Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow's dead.
Deadpool.
Oh, and Deadpool. Okay. I'm like, what
Yeah.
is Ryan Reynolds doing? Okay.
No, I don't think their storylines cross too much.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like that'll be too difficult.
Yeah. But I guess just
Interesting.
in case if any future things were to pop up, then you know.
You learn something new every day. I had no idea.
Mhm.
All right, Judas and the Black Messiah on HBO Max. I don't know if you guys have heard about it.
Mhm.
And Godzilla, both of them separately did better than Zack Snyder's Justice League in numbers. So this was my point when I said I can understand the
DC.
business perspective
Yeah.
behind why they wouldn't move forward with another Zack Snyder film. Have you even
I
heard of
think-
Judas and the Black Messiah?
I think,
Nope.
Yep.
but I feel like the
Oh, Joe, yeah.
reason Justice League did so badly is because of the bad taste in everyone's mouth from the original Justice League.
It's a movie that they released like 6 years
yeah.
ago.
So I think most people are just like, no, I'm not watching this. I've
I
already
haven't
seen
seen
it.
it.
Well, exactly, but
I haven't
that's,
seen the new
that's
one.
the point. I genuinely feel like anything Zack Snyder does DC related, I'm like, if it wasn't for this, I'd be like, I'm never watching another one again. This one now makes me think, okay, I will watch one. Still low expectations, but I will watch one.
Mm-hmm.
I can see where they're like, we need to do something totally different.
Yeah.
Even this one that got all these fans, this fanboy group excited, this little small sector on Twitter, it still did
Small sector.
terrible
It's the,
numbers
like,
compared
top
to
trending.
yeah. Friggin'
He said,
Judas and the
yeah,
Black
like, that's
Messiah.
the complete opposite of what you just said.
This small sector of the top tweeted thing on Twitter ever.
Okay, well you get what I'm
I
get what
know.
I'm saying.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I agree with Wiley. It's just because a lot of people, like you guys said, 6 years. A lot of people don't really expect much from it. But what sucks is it's too late. But Zach, listened to the fans and knew what they wanted, but it just didn't go as planned because WB sucks.
Exactly.
Fair enough. I won't argue with that. Also, 33% of people who started Justice League didn't finish the movie. That's a third of the people
Wow.
who started it.
You know what? That's probably the people who were like, let's see what's all this hype is about. And then they started watching a 4-hour movie and were like, I can't be bothered with this.
Yeah.
But the beginning
All
was
the
good.
slow motion.
Yeah, the slow-mo was a little wild.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
20
Anyway.
minutes.
Didn't you say
You
it
get
was
the
like
point.
like a half hour of slow motion?
Yeah.
24 minutes or
24.
something?
24 minutes of
That's
movie time was
insane.
in slow motion. That's pretty bad.
That's insane.
It's
All right, that's the end of my movie news.
I don't have anything else. So Joey, Kyler, nothing.
Oh,
Okay.
I never have anything. I just come here to listen.
They just listen to me and you, Darian. They're just like, yeah, Darian and Wiley will prep. We don't gotta do anything.
Hey, I prep my episodes.
Should we do the quick Godzilla spoiler review and then get into?
We can. So we did talk a few weeks ago. We talked about non-spoiler Godzilla review. Kyler watched it. Yeah. It's been enough time for anyone of you guys to watch it. Yeah. So let's get into a quick spoiler review. Kyler, yes, please proceed.
Kyler is raising his hand.
Yes, Kyler is.
So first off, I had no idea that Hollow Earth was going to be such a central plot.
Yes, I went crazy.
So was that when you heard it?
I was like, what?
I went
crazy. We talked about that.
First, like 5 minutes, that was like one of the main points of the movie. Nuts. Second of all, why would a race of giant apes build a temple and an armory?
Why not?
In the middle of the earth.
Why not?
Okay, so
what's the point of that?
They're the alphas.
This is what pissed me off about the movie.
They're monkeys.
They're
still apes.
Because, like I told D, it's primitive creatures, and everybody's completely ignoring the fact that they built doors, they made right angles, they made
stairs,
throne, they made tools. I was like, okay, let's skip over the Hollow Earth, let's skip over this fact, but no, that's okay.
And it, like a whole energy thing around an axe that you have to like plug in to the floor to
what is it? A Godzilla skill.
The temple.
Not what? Not even Caesar and his apes in the Planet of the Apes trilogy did that.
And they spoke.
They made it all out of spears, bro. Everything was pure spears. It was primitive crap. But
wasn't there like a Godzilla like mural in the floor too?
I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a painting sect of the Kong group.
Yeah, it was so weird. I
other than
completely wholeheartedly agreed with you guys that the human aspect of this movie was garbage.
It's disgusting.
Garbage. I
awful
hated all of Millie Bobby Brown's scenes.
Awful.
Unnecessary.
It was just so dumb.
I only like Brian Tyree Henry. That's it.
I didn't even like him, to be honest.
He was weird.
He was off the rails.
But he was hilarious. He was cracking me up. He was so stupid.
He was funny, but none of the stuff made any sense. They snuck into this ridiculously highly secure building, walking through floor vents.
A grown man with 2 kids.
Yeah. It was the classic, like, all the security guards walk into the grade A room and you can't get in it. He just goes and slips right in it. It was like, you know.
Oh, I can't hear you. The glass is too thick. That's so stupid.
I don't give, but like I said, I don't give the movie slack.
But
for
the
stuff.
monster fights were awesome.
They were amazing.
Tell me on the battleships that wasn't an awesome fight.
It was so good.
When Godzilla was underwater.
Yeah. And massive spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it because we're going to give away who wins.
Full spoilers, yeah.
But I am 1,000,000% sure that Kong should have won that fight. There's no way. I get Godzilla breathes fire and everything. Kong's in like Tokyo. He could jump off a building and RKO.
Kong won.
Godzilla
He won one.
Point.
Godzilla got the 2 out of 3. He got the best 2 out of 3.
Facts.
He absolutely should have won.
We're in the minority though, Kyler. Sorry. Most people thought
Godzilla
was gonna win.
Really?
And I was Team Kong. But Godzilla obviously.
I'm Team Godzilla.
I thought it was Kong.
It was a Kong movie. It was 100%.
It was a Kong. Kong exactly what I told you. It was straight 100%. Up all Kong. There was no Godzilla scene that advanced, like, I don't want to say his character, but like you had a backstory to Kong and you had like there was nothing about Godzilla. It was like all Kong, and so Godzilla would just show up to fight, and then that's it.
How often was Kong on screen on screen by himself? Anytime they showed Godzilla, Kong was right next to him.
Yeah.
So it's a Kong movie. Yeah. How are you gonna have your protagonist lose like that?
That is true.
That was dirty.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I hated the build up to Mecha Godzilla, only for it to be like really 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was so rushed.
Yeah,
there were so many tropes that I couldn't count. There was the evil villain who made Mecha Godzilla because humanity needs to be the apex predator again.
Oh, and his daughter.
Okay,
that's my girl. That's my girl. But I'm
so annoying.
The ship and just,
yeah,
amazing.
she was just
so
just
annoying.
rude for the sake of being rude. That's there
she was one of those
now.
She's one of those characters that's written specifically for you for the entire audience to focus on one person to hate.
Yeah. And when she got, the ship got crushed, I was like, oh, cool. But it didn't feel like,
It should have happened sooner.
yeah, I agree. When I heard Hollow Earth, I immediately was like, on my interview episode, we talked about this when you guys were like, what conspiracy do you think? And I was like, Hollow Earth. I think it's the coolest thing ever. Mm-hmm. And then I see Kong, and it's like, I was like, this is amazing.
I like how they, I like how they integrated it. It could have been better.
Okay. One other thing.
Yep.
Kong,
let's go for it.
Or Kong's in his little like Middle Earth temple thing built by other gigantic apes. Sure. Okay. We'll brush past that.
Yeah.
Godzilla decides to breathe fire through all of the earth right down to the center in what just so happens to be right in
through China.
That's what I said to Joey.
Then Kong just dives into it and then climbs out the top. At what point
did
the shift happen?
When?
Because wasn't he already right at the center?
Little warp tunnel.
No, remember when they were falling through, he said gravity's gonna reverse. So you'll start falling and then you'll start rising, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, but Kong must have like sprung up like thousands of feet to hit that. Yeah. I was like, I don't poo.
That's such a random.
Why that one?
Yeah, why that one?
Of all the ones you could have used.
Just felt right.
I don't know.
It just felt right.
I don't know. But that Hong Kong scene or Shanghai, wherever it was dope.
One of those Asian places. It was Japan. I don't know. Korea. Is that canceled? Is that oh god?
You can't say
I just get canceled. Why not? It's okay. I apologize. I'd like to take this second to apologize to the Asian community. I didn't mean to offend anyone with the words. It was something said in jest with no malicious intent. Moving on. As we were.
Okay.
Are we cutting this?
No. All right, let's go.
Let's move forward.
Let's move forward. All right, that's our little review. We can definitely go on and on about it, but we have a lot to cover.
Movie, it was a fun monster movie.
Yeah. We have a lot to cover today. So let's get into The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episodes 3 and 4. I'm more interested in 4. But we should probably just
breeze over
breeze
3.
past 3. Yeah.
What was 3?
3 was
I'm trying to look it up now.
Madripoor, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Okay, so 3 was the one where they went and found the guy who was making the serum and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was he's not the power broker.
Yeah,
it's just the scientist dude who made the serum.
I do have a power broker theory though. Anyway,
I've heard a few.
Yeah.
For me, episode 3 felt like it legitimately felt like a movie. Like they spare no expense for this show. The action scenes, the settings, the where they're going, all this stuff feels like a Captain America movie. Legitimately. Yeah, it feels like a Civil War Part 3 or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. I liked it because 3 was very explanatory. It was a very much a setup episode. Like, okay, we're going to throw a lot of information at you. This is who this person is. This is how they fit into the story. This is what they're going after. Yep. But at the same time, it was still entertaining. It wasn't just like a data dump.
Exactly.
Like all this information. But they did that, but at the same time, keeping you invested in what's going on and actually wanting to keep watching more. So that's the best way of balancing that. Giving you all the information you need to understand the story, but at the same time, keeping you invested and entertained with jokes or action and stuff like that. Yep. They did a really good job with it.
I like that point because they gave you a lot of data because it was kind of like, here's these characters. Now you see where the story's going to go and you understand everybody's role and you understand how everybody feels about certain things. And I like that going forward. Like, you know what Zemo feels, you know what Sam feels, you know what Bucky feels, you know. It's so I like that aspect of it. Yeah.
So
Joey, you have anything?
Yeah.
Joey, really, you guys covered it all.
That was the
I'm waiting for the best
cringiest laugh.
Tell me that was a good time.
That was good.
Could have been a little earlier, but
That was good.
I'm sorry.
I'll take that one.
So I have two separate sections of notes. The ones I wrote for episode 3, and then the ones I wrote for episode 4. And in episode 3, I really laid into Walker's partner. Forget the guy's name.
Battlestar?
Lamar Hoskins.
Yeah. I laid into him. I said he was literal garbage. He's a trash can. Why is he even here?
He's a trash can.
Yeah, and then he goes and dies in episode 4.
Listen, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
I'm sorry, I feel bad.
But why in episode 3 he didn't do anything? The only like place they showed him in 3 was him saying, "You don't think they actually broke Zemo out of jail?" That was it. That was the only line.
Oh, then maybe I wrote it at the beginning of episode 4. Every fight scene I see him in, I'm like, you don't belong here. Like this is
that's
so out of your league. It's not even funny.
Walker is no Cap, obviously. He's no Steve Rogers, but he can sort of hold his own in a way.
Yeah.
Like you can tell he's really trying. He's putting in the effort. Battlestar is just a punching bag.
Just as a
Or he
nice boy.
was a punching bag.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
But you can tell that he did not belong next to Walker. He did not.
He was like there for
shouldn't
moral
have been
support.
He didn't belong
Yeah.
anywhere. Yeah.
That's it. Literally, that's it.
I like
He needs
his
to go back to
character.
Afghanistan or something.
Wow. Okay, can we cancel Tyler for that?
As a
Because-
soldier. He's
no,
just
I know.
a
It's just
soldier.
mean. He's gonna die over there. There's so many people that die over there.
A lot of soldiers come back. He just
Okay,
belongs
so
in.
I
Like,
get canceled for
the
stupid
army.
stuff, but we're not gonna
Hey,
cancel
Darren,
Tyler
what's
for
wrong
that.
with you?
what the heck?
You made it worse, Darren. You literally.
I
made
know
it
you're the
worse.
one going
He's
off.
gonna-
He needs to go back to
He's
the
gonna clip the
military. He should not be a superhero.
In the
Would
GRC.
you consider him a superhero? I don't know.
No, they're just like
Wait,
leaders of the
consider him a
GRC
psychic.
type.
He's a
thing.
swell guy.
Yeah.
They are like special ops, but anyway.
Yeah, something like that.
So episode 3 was cool. I love Zemo.
Sharon also.
Sharon, I did like
Sharon
Sharon
was
in
there.
that. She was very disgruntled.
Very
I enjoyed
interesting
that.
arc. Very interesting
Yeah.
arc where she's just like living her life in Madripoor, just like collecting art and
I
selling it.
love
Like,
that. I
was like,
love
that's
that.
pretty
It's
cool.
like, well, if I'm gonna be undercover as this, like, I might as well enjoy it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let me get this awesome apartment with all this stuff in it.
He's like luxury
heck
dark
not?
market, like selling these
Yeah.
crazy original paintings. He's like, that's not the original.
He's like, go ahead.
Oh my
What did
God, it's
Google
the
say?
original.
He said, what did Google say? Yeah, I was dying.
Let me get your guys' opinion. What do you guys think of Walker?
Okay.
I stand with Walker. I love his character.
How do you mean when you say I stand with Walker? What is not taking into consideration the
Yeah.
end of 4?
I want to know
obviously.
that. What
He
does that mean?
portrays
Yeah.
U.S. agent perfectly in the sense that people hate him. But, well, I should say, people hate him for the wrong reasons.
Well, people.
Hate
In-
the actor for the wrong reasons.
Oh,
Okay,
they
people
hate in
like
real
him
life.
in the
In
real
real
life.
life.
Yeah,
Okay.
in real life.
Okay.
They hate the actor for the wrong reasons, but for the right reasons when it comes to portraying a character in Marvel that you're supposed to hate. He did it perfectly.
But what do you
I
think
think
of the
so, but I don't even
character
think-
of John Walker? Like,
Yeah, I don't think he's meant for people to hate because I think he's meant as a middle of the line character where half of the people will agree with his thought on this and half the people won't. I think anyone that took the Captain America shield, if it wasn't Sam or Bucky, was going to get an insane amount of flack
Yeah.
from everyone. It
Well,
doesn't
he
matter.
canceled. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I feel like he's doing what he can. And he feels like as a soldier with these 3 medals of honors and all this stuff, a leader in his field, he needs to take charge and kind of own whatever situation he's in. Now, that's led him to be a jerk with Sam and Bucky on multiple occasions, in my opinion. Stuff that, it's just like stuff he says, like, then stay out of my way. Like, who are you to, do you know who these guys are? Like,
He's also trying hard to be Captain America. too.
I
I don't think he's a bad guy. That's the thing.
and I think they're making it very clear the major differences between him and Steve as Captain America. You have, for example, and Lamar said to him, it just enhances who you are as a person. The same thing that the doctor told Steve. Not a perfect soldier, but a good man. opposite of John Walker. John Walker he's the perfect soldier. Which the 3 Medal of Honors, you know, the special ops, all this stuff. So complete opposite. Then the same thing with, for example, Steve never introduced himself to anyone as Captain America. That is the first thing that John Walker does every single time. He says, John Walker, Captain America. John Walker, Captain America. You know who I am. So it's like...
Use it as a title.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Like a get out of jail free card almost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the thing is, there will be no Steve Rogers in modern day. That's a guy from a different era.
From the 40s,
with a different heart, you know. And I think that's an interesting point. That's
the argument.
I didn't know that. What?
They're not trying to be Captain America. They want a Steve Rogers, not a Captain America.
Yes, thank you. That's a great way to put it into words. They're looking for another Steve Rogers, and anyone who's not that is going to get the slack. It doesn't mean Walker's perfect, because by no means is he, but I don't think he has bad.
Good intentions. He has good intentions, but he's going about it the wrong way.
Exactly.
And it shows how straight up from the beginning, when we're first introduced to him, where he's already nervous of living up to that legacy, and every episode it just drives that point further and further, especially with like Bucky taunting him, where he's like, "You having a hard time there? How you holding up? This isn't that." He's like, "This is getting real for you, isn't it?" And then you have the Dora Milaje kicking his butt.
Oh my
and
goodness.
And then that line, those weren't even super soldiers. That kind of it kind of clicked for him. Like, what am I doing? Like, I can't even keep up. You know what I mean? So
I loved that scene where he said that, because you can tell. I feel like he's doing the best with what he has, but he's also at the same time getting into his own head, because he's trying to be Steve, but he's not. It's very clear that he's not, because he is, like you guys said, a soldier at heart. That is what he is. That's what he's born and bred to do. He's got the 3 Medals of Honor. He is a soldier, and he by default leans that way, but at the same time he's trying to be like Steve, and it makes his character feel off.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people hate him, because they're like, "Oh, he's trying to be Steve, but he's not, because he sucks." Yeah. And it's like, well, yeah, because Steve was Cap, and everyone knew him. Everyone knew Captain America as Steve Rogers. So he's trying to fill that void, but he's not, and he's never
a nuance
going
to
be. Yeah, and that's the part I'm not a fan of Walker, but not for the reasons that everyone else is. Like, he's not Steve, so I hate him. I don't like. I can't. That's the thing. I can't put my finger exactly where.
And I get it.
It is that I don't. He doesn't sit right with me. It's like he rubs me the wrong way.
I don't
not
like
because
how
of any
unhinged
specific
he's
thing.
becoming.
Well, that's a totally different thing. That's the thing on its own.
Well, yeah.
But before episode 4, it was just like, I don't know. He just seemed like he was taking it in more as like you guys said, like, I'm John Walker, Captain America. Like, he's kind of feeding into the whole, like,
he's letting the ego get to him a little bit.
Yes. It's like his head is getting a little too big.
Yeah. And he needs to be humbled, and I think he was with those Dora Milaje. I think he was.
He was humbled with
Captain
that.
America. Yeah.
He was humbled with that German dude who was just like, "I know who you are, and I don't care." And spit on him.
Yes. Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
Another reason.
I think that personally, his character is one of the driving factors that I'm enjoying this season so much, because, and I might get some slack for this, and I might be wrong. I think
a lot of people like
Captain
him.
America.
Don't get it twisted. A lot of people like his character.
But I'm going to go with Chris Evans now, because I think if you guys notice, after Captain America, the First Avenger, that was his movie, his solo movie. Then you get Winter Soldier, it's him and Bucky, and then Civil War, and it's him and the entire Avengers. Every movie after that first movie is Captain America and someone else. My opinion is that maybe a movie about Captain America alone wouldn't be as interesting as a movie of Iron Man alone would be, or Thor, because Cap will always do the right thing. There's no fight between good and evil with him, because he's always going that way. When it comes to someone like Walker, he's making decisions that were like, the end of episode 4, you're so stupid. Why would you do something like that with all these people watching? And it's I could watch a movie on that because it's not
Cap,
just the superhero.
And taking
Cap
the
is,
serum too.
Cap is too pure, almost. It's almost too
Yeah.
pure. Like he's
worthy.
Like you said, he's always going to make the right decision. You never have to doubt it. Whereas someone who's more, not that Cap wasn't human, but someone who makes more human decisions, where it's like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, is more interesting to watch because you can relate to it more.
Like Bucky, that's what made the movies interesting.
Yeah.
The only fight between good and bad internally with Cap, with Steve, was in Civil War between signing the treaty and not. And he came this close. Tony almost convinced him, and then he said about
But it
Wanda.
wasn't even good and bad.
It was just like
both sides had their
They
merits.
both had their merits, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm
I
saying.
would
That's
say-
like the closest thing, because that was the struggle of the movie side, two different
I
sides.
would say the toughest decision he had to make was defending Bucky or defending Tony, because of what Bucky had done. By the end of the movie, when you find
That's
out
true.
that he assassinated his parents, and he still ended up siding with Bucky, where you can kind of be like, dude, that's a little messed up. Like, maybe you should have gone with Tony. But at the same time, you're like, but who else is going to stick up for Buck? I mean, now he wasn't in control at that point. It wasn't technically his fault, but he still kind of did it. It's a gray area. So that's the only, like you said, the only real conflict that you could kind of see in
That movie.
Cap, but that
Movie was written
my
so
favorite Marvel
flawlessly.
movie.
The whole movie was a gray area. It's like if you don't flip flop between sides, then you're not watching the same movie.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it's, but story for another time.
It upsets
But
me.
yeah, that's my opinions on Cap.
I agree with. I was Team Cap in terms of the decision, but I was Team Tony just because I like that team better. But anyway,
Now it's Team Cap pretty much the
of
whole
course
time.
you are. Yeah.
Really, I was Team Tony the whole time.
No. I
Thought they should've
there were-
signed.
like you said, there was a few scenes where I was like,
Yeah.
maybe Tony, but then by the end, I was still Team Cap. I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay, so end of episode 4. Walker makes a questionable decision.
Let's
My
like
jaw was
questionable decisions.
let's kind of like let's lead up to like how it started. So then you have the rest of the serums, Zemo's destroying them, and then Walker finds the last one that wasn't destroyed. That I was like, no, he can't do this. Like, I understand the struggle because all this time he wants to be like Steve. So then this is like the last like line, and then I do like how he went to Lamar before taking it.
Yep.
And once
it?
he got his like consent, like, yeah, I would take it. Then he was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Which
It seemed
shows
like that was
their
his
friendship.
guiding,
Yeah,
Yeah.
his moral conscience.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So, which made it more impactful when Lamar dies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it also, the impact was also like on a deeper level in terms of he wanted to take the serum because he kept failing at protecting, he kept failing his mission, and he figured if I have the serum, I can hold my own, I won't be powerless, I can, do whatever I want, and he still wasn't able to protect his friend. I think that's when he snapped. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you could see it in his eyes, and it was just, and then he goes to decapitating a
Bludgeoning
man, and
someone to
they
death.
caught him. They caught him in 4K, my guy. They caught him.
At every possible angle.
Yeah.
too.
Every single one.
Darren's
Is
frozen.
Darren
right?
frozen?
Yeah.
Yo, Darren's frozen.
Okay, that is the best possible.
That
I've
is
been
the
trying
thumbnail.
not to laugh this whole time.
That is the thumbnail, baby.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Oof.
I couldn't even pay attention to what you're saying because I'm
Let
like
me,
looking at Darren's face this whole
unlock
time.
the meeting here.
Darian cut out twice. He didn't pay his internet bill. So let's just continue. I don't even remember where we left off. This has been such a long break. But anyway.
Yeah, it's been like 15 minutes.
Episodes 3 and 4
was
was crazy. Yep.
I think I said this is the last point I wanted to make was that I think the really impactful thing at the end of episode 4 was that of all things Walker could have possibly used to bludgeon a man to death, he used something
right.
The
as
symbol of hope.
pure as Cap's shield and just like tainted it.
Yep.
Something that so many people looked at as this like you said, a symbol of hope, a symbol of like security and all that stuff, and he just smeared that guy's brain matter
And for
all
that-
over the star.
For that guy to say he was a Captain America fan as a kid, to be killed
Then
by the thing he looked up to.
decapitated.
Yeah,
by that thing.
The symbolism is real heavy there.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
This
Bucky
whole
man
show
just
is
to
like
feel
filled
even
with
more guilty.
Oh
Wait,
my
what?
god!
They giving up that
whispered in his
shield,
ear.
Sam.
I know,
Giving
yeah.
up that shield.
Don't think you should have gave
Look
it
what
up.
they did with it.
The look on his
Yeah,
face.
dude.
The look on his face.
Super disappointed.
when he saw that. Oh, man, I can't wait to see next episode. Also, can we talk about how great Sebastian Stan was in the Wakanda scene?
Oh my
The,
goosebumps.
Yes.
my God, the look of
Yes.
desperation and then of freedom on his face
Literally,
in
he
like
had,
a few seconds, like 30 seconds, 40 seconds.
He said all of like 5 words in that scene, but he deserves an Oscar. At
It
least
was
a nomination.
amazing.
It was so good.
When she said, "You are free," and he was like, I was like, it was so sad, dude.
Get this
felt
man a
so bad.
contract. Get this man a contract right now.
I felt so bad for him. I was like, dude, none of us can even imagine
How that must
what
feel.
that's like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not being able to trust your own brain. That's why,
For
like,
decades.
stuff like schizophrenia, even like an actual thing that people go through every day. Not being able to trust your own brain and trust that what you're seeing is actually there, what you're hearing is actually there. That's got to be terrifying.
It's pretty scary.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Well, anyway, I did have a power broker theory where
What is? I do want to know.
my theory is that's how we're gonna get mutants is through the power broker because he's playing with all these things, which could introduce Wolverine. Maybe he has a play in like how Wolverine comes to MCU. They had a Madripoor website on Marvel and they had like Mystique and other X-Men like mutants in there. So what were we gonna say?
One other thing that we should probably mention is they've announced that there is going to be a really, really, really big cameo in episode 5 of a character that has yet to be seen in the MCU, played by a very well-known actor.
Well, they said performer. I don't know what that means. It could be actor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that they're just
So,
generalizing it.
A new person will be in the show playing a character that we have yet to see, but both the character and the performer actor are very well known. So,
And there's a few hints to who the character will be. They said it's someone very grounded compared to the world shakers like Thor, which leads me to think Wolverine is a possibility.
They go to Madripoor. They went to the Princess
bar.
bar, which Wolverine was always hanging out at. So
they need to start introducing mutants in some way because now they have X-Men and they need to start using that. So this would be a really good place to throw them in there.
But
Not to get into like the WandaVision
no. This
theories,
is the only theory
but
we've had.
Yeah.
This is since the beginning of the show. And this episode's going to drop on, Saturday. And we're talking about this on Thursday. So by the time the episode drops, we'll know who the character was.
I'll know
I
at 3 in the
think
morning.
we might get Mr. Fantastic, guys.
I
think we
wasn't
might.
sure. I mean,
Possible.
They really didn't answer that question at all.
No.
That was just left there in
Left.
WandaVision, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Not once was it.
That's a horrible thing
many
to
loose
do.
ends.
That's a horrible thing to do to people.
How
So you think
they
we'll
would
get Mr.
answer-
Fantastic?
How would they like put him in there though? How would they slide him in there?
That's a good point.
Because right now we
Yeah.
got John Walker who just murdered a person. You also have to, they're going to go off of that for the next episode.
Some dude from across the crowd punches him in the face with an elastic arm.
He just snaps his.
He's like,
Hey,
hey,
you fool!
The hand is like this, and it just slithers back in, and they're like, oh.
John Krasinski just walks away from the crowd.
Yeah.
Nah,
I don't
you're
know.
actually right though. I don't know how they would introduce him. That's true.
WandaVision was such a perfect way.
Couldn't have been better.
So frustrating. Ugh.
Yeah.
Wiley, who do you think?
I'm thinking Wolverine.
You think? Oh man, I feel like
At
that
least-
would steal the show though.
At least not. They probably won't say Wolverine, but they'll say like, "My name's Logan," or something like that. I don't know. Reed Richards would be amazing, but I feel like Wolverine would make more sense. I'm just saying it from the stance of
is
like the power broker type of thing.
He's more well known
Yeah.
than Reed. It's just to drop, because that's something that a lot of people have been really going in on ever since Hugh Jackman retired
Who
the
would be
character of
next-
Wolverine. Who would be the next one? And to just drop him in a show as like a side character, I feel like that might be a little, I don't want to say wasteful.
I think it would build a
But-
hype.
I don't know.
I feel like if they were to introduce Wolverine, it would be like X-Men First Class when Magneto and Professor X went to go meet him, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Xavier," and he was like, "Go F yourself real quick."
Yeah.
Like 2-second clip, but people were like, "Oh, it's Wolverine." It'll probably be something like that.
I don't know, man. The producers already said this episode 5 is like, it's the big one. They said this is where the theme culminates. It hits its climax. This is like, and they said people will cry, which means I'll cry, which means I think I might
we'll find
watch it
out
at
by
3 in the
Wiley's
morning.
reaction.
I like. I don't know.
Yo.
Yeah.
We have this thing where we tell Wiley every week because he's usually the one to watch it first.
It's like the first thing I do in the morning.
2:58 a.m.
It's usually in order: Wiley, then me, then Joey, then Kylie. And
Although last week Joey was last.
True.
yeah, but we'll always be like, if you see anything, like, I don't want to hear that this was the craziest episode yet. I don't want to hear that my jaw is gonna drop. I don't want to hear that you're gonna cry. I don't want to hear nothing.
All I say
but
is
every
bruh.
week, Wiley will all caps bruh or all caps yo, and I'm just like,
but it doesn't mean anything. It could be terrible. It could be good. You have no idea. It's just bruh.
Yo, this episode was garbage.
yeah,
Trash.
Exactly. Yeah. So expect a text from me this morning or tomorrow morning. Yeah.
You're
All
always
right.
like 30 seconds too late with
before we, drift off too late here. Let's we did have something planned differently for this episode, but we're kind of running low on time here. We started a little bit later with our recording, so let's just talk Fast and the Furious really quick. We all seen the trailer. I'm not sure if you guys at home have seen the trailer.
I literally watched it just now.
Like 10 minutes ago.
Maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes ago.
Darian was trying to reset his Wi-Fi and talk to Bangladesh about it.
yeah. Like, Raj, what do we do? No, not doing it. Not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Why would you talk to Raj with the accent?
Because I felt like if I was one with him,
we're not talking about this. We're not talking about this. We're moving on. So let's talk Fast and the Furious number 29. Let's go.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 9. I'm gonna start real quick. I'm excited for it only because, like Darian said in the chat, I am so ready to turn my brain off and just enjoy a fun summer movie. Like that's it. Also, I love cars, so it's like it's part of me already. I just feel like I have to, But Kyler, you have some strong opinions, so let's go.
So there's fun summer movie, and I'll put like Pacific Rim in fun summer movie. I'll put Godzilla versus Kong. I'll even put the last Godzilla, the King of the Monsters or whatever. And then there's car magnets that pull cars through buildings and flying DeLoreans. Is that what that was at the end there?
Might have been. Who knows?
What were they driving? I don't know.
That was a Pontiac, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think I could be wrong, but.
And then John Cena with like an undercut looking menacing, I think is the look he was trying to go for. I don't know if I put that in the fun summer movie category.
Let me tell you something.
Before you start, Darian, I'd just like to point out that Dogecoin is not worth more than the U.S. quarter. Continue.
Righty. Not sure what that means.
That's our stock second.
Yeah.
There is something very special about leaving the theater in the summer after watching a Fast and Furious movie.
It's true. There's no other feeling like it.
There's something walking out of that theater in the heat after. I vividly remember watching Fast 5 with my cousins, and Don Seculudo was playing while we walked out.
Yep.
That one. I vividly remember being on vacation in Florida and watching the trash Fast and Furious 7, I think it was.
Yep.
There's something about it. Now, I feel like the problem with the Fast and Furious franchise with these past few movies has been they don't know if they want to go back to the first 3 movies, the very grounded, realistic, drifting cars, or if they want to go more towards Fast Five dragging vaults through the streets of Brazil.
Action.
And they've been teetering and going back and forth, and the movies just feel
The Rock kicking torpedoes.
and
I
breaking
can't get
like
over
walls.
the
Helicopters.
Rock kicking torpedoes.
yeah. But
And
I
Dom
feel
being shielded from a nuclear explosion
with
by
Lamborghinis.
like 4 cars. That was it. It was 4 cars.
But I feel like this movie, they've embraced the meme, and they've took it to the next level, and they said, you know what? We're just going full crackhead, the most insane stuff you can think of. You want us to take cars to space? We're dropping them from space. You want us doing this, swinging cars from vines? You didn't think we could do it? Wrong. We're doing it. And we're having The Rock do it. It's going to be so much fun that I cannot wait.
The Rock's not even in it.
Oh.
He's not going to be in this one?
Oh, yeah, you're right. He wasn't in the trailer.
No, they had a huge falling out.
Yeah. Vin Diesel was
everyone
because
everyone hates The Rock.
Movie.
Yeah, everyone hates The Rock now. So.
Well.
Okay, so Vin Diesel's gonna do it with his cut off T-shirt.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Good.
Oh, Vin, what was that?
It's so good.
Oh, Vin, I didn't know he had Vin on the line here. Okay.
Interesting.
We got all the sound clips. I hate John Cena.
So
if y'all don't know
cringy.
this,
He's a
then
terrible actor.
Yeah,
he's horrible.
he's a wrestler.
Terrible.
Yeah, but so is Dave Bautista, and
So is The Rock.
So is The Rock, and I love the movies that they're in. John Cena, there's something about him that is just everything he's in, I despise.
I mean, have you seen 12 rounds? Is it? That was a good one. You ever saw that one?
Maybe I haven't seen that, and I'm not. Maybe there's good stuff with
That was
him
like
in
one
it.
of his first movies. It was pretty
Is that
good.
the one
Wasn't
where
he
his
in Game
wife
Night
got
too?
kidnapped?
His girlfriend or wife, yeah, and then
Yeah,
because he put
I
the
hated
one
that
dude in
movie.
jail. You hated it? Why?
I hated that movie. With
Why?
The burning
It was
fire.
pretty
Wow.
good. I mean,
I
Probably because of him.
it was just not like
it was all right.
good.
Well, it's not
In my
a great
opinion,
movie.
it was just
just fun
a
to
good
watch
movie.
to me. I don't know.
I don't know. I felt bad when the big guy Willie
In
died
the elevator?
because that wasn't
Because
cool.
the dude cheated.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I
Anyway.
mean, anywho,
Yep.
yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm most excited for. It's just I already mentioned it to you guys. Seeing my Tokyo Drift crew back, like
Lucas Black is
That's
there.
my
They got
movie.
the
Bow
Han.
Wow, Han.
Probably the person I'm excited for most.
I freaking
Everybody's
love.
excited for Han.
Jog my memory. Han died in Tokyo Drift.
Mhm.
With which chronologically happened in
Was it after
Fast and
6?
Furious 7
7.
with
Okay.
Jason Statham.
And that was Shaw. Shaw killed him for killing
Yes.
his brother.
His brother.
For having to do
he
with
didn't
the-
kill his brother.
being involved with the crew that got his brother all jacked up.
In
Yeah.
6.
yeah.
Was Han in Fast 8?
No,
So
Fate
how
of
is
the
it
Furious.
that he's alive?
nobody knows. That's why it's huge.
They're going to
That-
explain
He
it.
survived the explosion.
Somehow.
Well, then why?
It just burned a little bit of
They
his hair off
retconned.
because now he's got a haircut.
They retconned his death, which
Yeah.
it was like meaningless. So no, I don't know.
Yeah, well, then why wouldn't they save that for the movie? Can you just imagine? There's all these
The
characters that are
reveal.
here.
Imagine the reveal in
I
the
don't need-
theater.
Oh
I don't
my
need to
goodness.
watch the movie. That trailer had so much in it.
It was a 5-minute trailer. It was the whole movie.
But I
Don't
think-
need to watch the movie. I know every single thing that's going to happen in that movie.
But I think that was the point of putting him in the trailer because so many people are probably like, I'm so tired of Fast and the Furious. Han's back. Let's go watch it. So I think maybe that was the reason.
I feel like
They pulled a car through a building with a magnet.
Or did they push the car?
I'll show you guys this really.
I don't
funny movie.
care. Either way, it's stupid.
The thing is, the trailer dropped when Corona first started. So when everyone saw Han came
What?
back, yeah, the trailer dropped.
The first
like, in,
trailer
like,
started. Yeah, I was
March of 2020.
What?
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
even. I wasn't even.
It's been out for over a
yet.
year.
The original.
And everyone was
trailer,
like,
not this
Han is
trailer.
back. We're like
The
going
teaser,
crazy.
like the reveal.
What?
That's my thing though. Like with all these characters coming back, you got Lucas Black and Bow Wow and all these people. You could have saved Han for the
Yeah.
reveal.
I want to know
I
how
would've been
big of
flipping
a.
out.
I want to know how big of a role those Tokyo Drift guys are gonna have, though. You know.
It'd be pretty cool. what do they have? Like 14 movies prepared? They're going crazy. Seriously, they're
like, stopping at 11, I think they said. But yeah.
That's 10 too many.
Yeah.
Or okay.
Wow,
I'll say
10 too
7.
many.
I'll say 7 too many.
They should have stopped after Fast 5, if I'm being honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was
Fast 5 and
Brazil?
Brazil.
My favorite.
That's my second favorite one. It goes Tokyo Drift, Fast 5, then the original.
Tokyo Drift, yeah.
Really,
that's
it's
my order.
Fast 5 original Tokyo Drift. Too Fast, Too Furious is a terrible movie.
That's the one where Tyrese Gibson is introduced, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Miami.
And when all the cars come out in the street from the garage, one of the coolest.
I love that
ever,
scene.
in my opinion.
I love that scene.
love
It's
it.
amazing.
And
Ejectocito, cuz.
right?
No, she was.
Gal Gadot. She was in Fast and Furious. That was
4,
number
right?
4. Yeah.
Yeah, she showed up in 4.
Those names don't make sense.
It goes.
I know. They're all over the
It
place.
goes
so
The Fast
weird.
and the Furious. Then
Too
there's
Fast,
Too
Too
Fast, Too
Furious.
Furious. Then there's Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Then there's Fast and Furious. There's no the in it anymore.
That's so dumb.
So then there's Fast 5. And then there's Furious 6. Furious 7. Fate of the Furious.
Of the Furious.
And then now F9.
F9.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel has so much money, he just does what he wants.
Are these his movies?
He's like the executive producer of these movies, yeah.
I don't know if I told you guys before, but I think it was after Tokyo Drift, which lost, or the second movie, one of them lost a lot of money. And it was like, I think it was Tokyo Drift because it was one that people loved, but just didn't make a lot of money. And critics weren't crazy about it.
It was 2. That's why he was in it he was in 3 at the end. Because at that point, that's when he started, I believe, getting involved with Universal and doing all that, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't want to continue the series, and he fronted almost all the money for the next movie in exchange for the rights to the movies. So ever since then, all of these movies have been his, and each one since Fast 5 has made over $1 billion. The dude is rich out of his mind.
That's why he takes time to do his own album.
Exactly. It's a bop too. That song is a bop.
Get out of here.
5 seconds.
Don't even.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And what's the other series he does? Is it Riddick or is it
he does Chronicles of Riddick.
Mm-hmm. That's his. That's
where he
that
has
as well.
He has lights in his eyes so he can see in the dark.
The Riddick movie. Don't mess with the Riddick movies. Those are good.
The first, I think I saw the first one. I don't remember. I've seen one where he was like
game
in a
was fun
mine
too.
or something.
All right, I'm gonna show you guys
so
a little
weird.
piece of the song here.
I wish you had a music video. That would make my day.
I know. Or you know what? If we just pull up the picture of him here. Come on, man.
It's a club song.
I don't want to play too much, but it's kind of a bop.
Yeah.
It's not crazy, but I mean, he's just like, let me drop 15 grand on the studio and make a song. Like he's got that much money.
Why not? Yeah, have you heard his explanation about John Cena? Why he cast John Cena?
I'd love to know.
He said he has like a Dom shrine, like Dominic, his character.
John Cena does?
No. Vin Diesel, right?
Oh, what a weirdo.
He had, I guess to try to get into character kind of thing. He said, or like I don't know. He's a weird
No,
guy.
He sits in a corner. He sits in a corner and says, "Salud de familia."
I love you, Dom.
He's a weird dude. He
When
said
did I
like
end
to
up in
meditate
beautiful
or
world?
something.
But that ended up being beautiful.
And then he said John Cena walked in, and he said it felt like it was Paul Walker telling him to cast John Cena.
Yeah, Vin's a weirdo.
Yeah,
Vin
he's
is
a weird dude.
100%
He's a
weirdo.
weird dude.
Why would you even
100%.
say that?
I don't know.
What did Paul Walker's family say to that? Like, I don't think he did. Vin,
Well, he's
calm down.
When did this turn into beautiful world?
he's really close friends with their family and stuff. Like
All the more reason they should be outraged by that comment.
he named his daughter after Paul.
He named her Paul?
Paula, but if it was a boy, it would have been Paul. Nice.
Marlena.
This is my son, Marlena.
I hate this dude.
so stupid.
This is my daughter, Paul.
I named my son after you. His name is Marlena.
with 3 A's at the end.
Oh god. You know what, Riley? Let's lights out on the Lightpole Podcast.
It should be. It should be.
This feels like watching Hot Rod at 1 a.m.
Yeah,
at Marriott's house
it
in the
really does.
basement.
Crying.
Oh, we got to do that again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Peace and love. Peace and love.
We got it. Oh man.
Oh goodness. Anyway, well, I'm excited for it just because.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
I'll watch
something
it
I've
out
been
of
going
peer
to since I
pressure.
was a kid. I love, you know what I love? I love pulling up to AMC and seeing all the people with nice cars.
The Lightpole.
Parking
At the
at the
Lightpole.
Oh wow.
Well,
What?
yeah, well that, but everyone with the nice cars, you know, I love it.
pull up with my
All the modern
Optima.
cars.
Yeah,
She's
pulling
back.
up in my
With your KDM.
2006 Altima.
Yep.
Somebody's sleepy. Look at him. I gotta put him to sleep in a second.
All right. Well, I'll say it for you. Well, everyone, that's lights out on the Lightpole.
Joey, can you please hit us with the outro, Joey?
Darren, can you hit me with a something from the soundboard real quick?
Sure.
And it's Lights on the Lightpole Podcast.